back, and I'm here with Jackie Tarchala from Master Gardeners, and she's got some good tips and things for us. So go take it away, Jackie.
That's right. I wanted to let everybody know about our next class that's coming up, which is going to be August 17th. They're always on a Saturday. It's going to be at the GSA building up in Martell. And this time it's going to be on the third series in the vegetable classes. They're going to have 4 total. And so you can go for free, learn about vegetables. This time they're going to talk about crop rotation and crop covers, which is a perfect time of year to start talking about that because we have to start putting in our winter crops pretty soon.
And that's where usually you put in like a green leafy thing, isn't like
a cover crop is a green leafy thing, and it usually is something that will fix nitrogen into the soil, so it'll make your soil better for next year. So that would be in a place where you're not going to grow anything this winter.
I got a question. What happens if somebody uses the same soil, say in a barrel, and they replant? What would you put in? The same type of, like a
You could do the same thing in there, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you plant in a barrel. I also refurbish my barrels with extra soil each year.
Yeah.
But you could definitely plant a cover crop in there in the winter. I generally use my barrels for lettuce and winter crops that I can keep close to the house, so I don't have to go trekking down to the garden in the snow.
I have nothing.
Or cold.
I have to grow everything in either raised beds or barrels because I'm sitting on top of rock, literally.
Well, so many in this county are. It's either hard rock or no soil at all. That's our choice.
Yeah, I think, Since you live below me, I think you got all my soil.
Maybe. Which wasn't much.
No. So, what? I grew tomatoes last year, and it was a disaster. They didn't come out, but I got hit with those tomato worms.
Oh, yes.
And anyway,
nasty little boogers, aren't they?
Oh, God, those things. And since I don't like using insecticides on, or to get rid, is there a way to ensure that they don't come in the first place? I mean, how do you? I mean,
it's difficult. You can put BT, which is bacteria, on your plant. You can spray it on, but usually you don't do that till you see worm damage. Generally, what we do is you're just going to gross out, but you just put on a plastic glove and pick them off, throw them in a baggie, and throw them in the garbage.
I
know they're nasty.
Between them and potato bugs, I thought airwigs were bad too. I saw those things.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I've had where I've actually did good 2 years prior on my tomatoes. My tomatoes were fine and everything, and I thought, great, I had no bug problem. And all of a sudden, it's like they found me from somewhere. I don't know.
Sometimes they can come from the nursery or wherever you bought your plants. They can come with the plants. The eggs may be in the soil.
Really?
Or they can come, the moths, they come from a moth, and the moths travel, so they could come that way as well. So you just don't know.
Bug zappers.
Yeah, there's just no way to know.
Bunch of bug zappers, though.
But anyway, so come and learn about winter vegetables, cover crops, all that good stuff. Composting, there's going to be worm composting.
Oh, really? Worm composting?
So that's a good thing to learn about. Then also, I wanted to just put a quick plug in for the tomato tasting, which I'll talk more about in another time. But that's going to be August 31st in Sutter Creek, same as always. So bring your tomatoes. You only need 1 nice clean washed tomato, if the big one, or 6 little small cherry tomatoes. They will be judged, and then they'll be open to the public to judge, and you will get a prize if you win for your category.
Oh.
And the biggest tomato gets a special prize.
And how do you know somebody's not, putting in a ringer from a market or something?
Because we usually see heirloom tomatoes, and they have to have a name. You can't just bring a tomato without a name, so you got to know what variety it is.
Oh, okay.
So that would hold them back in the store.
Yeah, I'm with the tomato is a tomato, like a rose is a rose.
Yeah. No, it's not true.
What? Most of the tomatoes, like I buy in a grocery store, or even the ones I buy, don't have that true tomato taste. Is it this type of soil that you would use to get that true?
No, usually it's sun.
Sun.
And the longer you leave it on the vine, tomatoes do ripen from the inside out, so it can be picked green and still ripen. But the longer it is in the sun, the nicer the flavor is going to be.
Now, should I've always heard that, like, if you bought tomatoes in the grocery store, let it sit out a couple of days before you say you refrigerate them. Now,
You should never refrigerate.
a tomato, but since I'm the only one that eats vegetables in the house,
Yeah.
you know, otherwise they
It's
would.
difficult.
Yeah. So, but I was wondering, because when I was a kid, I used to go to the Midwest to visit relatives, and the tomatoes in Missouri were the best tasting tomatoes I've ever tasted in my lifetime. And they were out of a garden in front of my relative's house. But I don't know if it was something in this, you know, just to make it the most delicious tasting tomato I've ever had.
Well, another thing you can do is to hold back on some of the water for your tomatoes. Some of the master gardeners don't water their tomatoes until they wilt.
Really?
And that way they're more intense, sweet sugar instead of having lots of watery juice in them.
Oh.
So you can not water them quite so much.
Now, for other vegetables, is there? I grew squash. I know. See, I have a bad thing of culling. You know, where you pick, you know, so you get the better size. And I mean, but it's good to cull.
It is, absolutely.
You know, you know.
Good to take off a few so that the other ones can get bigger.
So
Yeah.
I mean, what's the ratio normally? If you say you have a tomato plant and you have a lot of, do you do it at the bud stage, or do you do it once they're forming?
You can do either. The sooner you do it, the sooner the plant has the energy to go on to the others. But
Yeah, because
me, I'm kind of greedy. I want them all.
that's my problem. And then the things break. You know.
Yeah.
They get too heavy and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So I was just wondering about that. Also, what's the tip for growing lettuce?
It's a cool season crop.
Okay.
So you either need to grow it in the cool season or you need to grow it in a cool place in the summer. It needs to
Okay.
be shady and bright place. Or in the wintertime, I just seed my barrels just about now or in a couple weeks, and then it just goes on through winter.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I grow the little muslin lettuce, and you just go out, cut it right off.
Oh, my
You have
grandmother
little
was
babies.
very good at that.
Yeah.
She was a farmer.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a city girl.
And
I
I
really
like-
don't know.
I like that better than the head lettuce. Some people like to grow the head lettuces, but I find the other ones are more tender.
What other crops is good to start planting now for winter?
All the root vegetables, carrots, beets, rutabagas, anything in the ground. Celery, I grow celery year round. Radishes, all your cole crops, all the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages, all of those are winter.
Well, that's good to know. Now, that will, so we're going to have a class on, when is it again?
It's going to be the 17th, August 17th, 9 to noon at the GSA building. Contact information
right
here.
there.
You can UC Amador.
Well,
Master Gardeners EC.
yeah, and the phone number is 223-6838.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck in your growing and your class, and that's it.
And y'all come.
Yeah, you'll come. And we're going to take a break. We're going to Susie. Okay, we're over to Susie.